Hi, I'm Dr. Lisa Thompson of drlisamthompson.com, and I have a question for you. Are you afraid of talking to people on the phone, your prospects on the phone, especially when you are in the follow-up phase with after they've watched your presentation or listened to your sizzle call? Well, pay close attention because I'm going to share with you a story of how I overcame my fear of being on the phone. Now, for those of you who don't know, I have worn hearing aids for the last 35 years of my life. I started wearing them when I was 13 years old. And when I had the hearing aids at the time, they were the real big in the ear, my very first pair. And so when I would put the phone up to my ear, I would hear a lot of feedback and a lot of squealing. And so I couldn't hear very well on the phone. I kept asking to repeat. It would just be petrified trying to call friends, trying to call family members, trying to even order a pizza. And I would do everything to pass the buck from being on the phone because I needed that visual input to, read lips and look at people to get their body language to understand what they're saying. And so it was a real challenge, and I could tell people were getting real frustrated with me on the other side of the phone. And so I was constantly passing the buck, and I would, my phone anxiety got so bad that, picking up the phone, I could feel my stomach turning into knots and feeling very nauseous. So this really translated into my whole life. I mean, when my husband met me, I would constantly tell him to be the one to make the phone calls to order the, before we had online ordering, he would have to call for takeout, call in the pizza order because I was just so fearful. When I started in my business, what happened was, and I was trying to figure out why was it that I had all this fear? Was it the hearing loss? And no matter what the script was, okay, I could have been given the perfect script from my upline. And I was given a script to say word for word, and it still failed. And when I look back, what turned it for me was a conversation that I had with two mentors of mine back in 2014, Bill Pesco-Salido and Diane Hockman. They were doing a webinar, and they were talking about talking to people on the phone and how in a home business, having that skill of talking to people on the phone is so critical. It's so critical. And so what Bill and Diane were talking about is that your prospect doesn't care about your fears. All they care about is, are you willing to help them? Are you going to show them a solution to the problem that they have? So that really helped me too. The other part that helped me was when I started listening to Grant Cardone. And I know a lot of people find him, some entrepreneurs are not a big fan of him, but I had a really big respect for him, especially after I read the book, The 10X Rule. And so what Grant said is that he's scared all the time doing deals, and it's constantly like he's taking action and talking on the phone all the time. And he said the way he got over his fear is he starved the food that fear thrives on, and that's time. And when I would look back with trying to talk with people on the phone, I would come up with excuses where, oh, my hearing aid batteries aren't working, so I'd sit and I'd go and I'd replace the hearing aid batteries. Or I would all of a sudden, it's the dinner hour, don't want to call them on, when they're eating dinner. Or, you know what, it's a Sunday night, they're probably not home, they're probably at church, I'm not going to call them. So I would come up with a lot of these excuses and these little procrastinations. And when you give time to fear, what it does is it makes whatever you're focusing on, that fear, larger, and it makes it real hard for you to take any action. So what Grant says is if the minute you start feeling fear, that's when you need to take that action. So when I started feeling fear, that's when I picked up the phone and I started talking to people. Now with the hearing aid technology has really improved since 1983. Right now my current set of hearing aids, which are really cool, they're Wi-Fi and they go right into my phone. So when I call people, the sound goes right in there with no squealing. So I'm hearing people crystal clear. So that excuse of having a bad hearing aid and feedback doesn't work anymore. And so what turned it around for me was learning to take action despite feeling that fear, because there's something liberating. The minute you take action on what you fear, the fear goes away, and what replaces it is momentum. Now think back into your life when you had something that you feared. Maybe it was jumping into deep water at swimming lessons for the very first time. And you're just jumping into the water was scary because you didn't know how cold it was going to be, what the shock was going to be. There was that fear. But the minute you would jump in, you would feel, it was immediately over with. And then boom, you're getting up, getting out of the pool and jumping in again. And you're not thinking about it anymore. So keep that in mind, because one other thing I learned from Grant too was, the marketplace rewards people who take action in spite of the fear. And I can tell you how many sales I've lost because I was too afraid to pick up the phone and ask for the sale, only to have someone, my competition, maybe it's another friend of mine or another rep in a company, took the sale because they took action and I didn't. And Grant said, I would rather, fail by taking action than failing by letting my fear stop me. And I thought that was really, really profound. So if you haven't read Grant's book, The 10X Rule, go read that book. There's a great chapter on how to deal with fear. And it's really, really powerful. And I suggest that you do that. So there you have it, my friends. What are you fearing right now in your business? Are you fearing talking to people on the phone? Are you fearing doing a Facebook Live? What is it in your business that you're fearing the most? And whatever it is that you're fearing, do it right now. After you watch this video, go and do it. So if you're fearing doing a Facebook Live, you've never done a Facebook Live before, go do a Facebook Live. If you're afraid to talk to somebody on the phone, after you're done watching this video, pick up your phone and call, okay? You're going to find something very liberating, and you're going to get this rush of energy once you've done that call. It's going to kick in momentum, and it's going to help you take more and more consistent action, because doing the right things long enough consistently, it's what's going to help you increase your results in your business, getting more leads, getting more reps, and getting more customers. So there you have it, my friends. I hope you found this video helpful today. If you did, I want you to leave a comment and share. And I also have a great newsletter where I share more tips and strategies of how you can grow a full-time income working part-time leveraging the internet. So if you would like that newsletter, all you have to do is go to workwithdrlisathompson.com, workwithdrlisathompson.com. Put in your best email address, and I'll start sending email messages to your box right away. I'm also going to put the link in the comment section. It'll be the first pinned comment. Thanks for watching. I appreciate every single one of you, and we will talk tomorrow on another edition of Doc Daily. Take care.